Hi, Chris here, making a video. Welcome, Bookstream TVers. I'm having a lot of trouble with my live streaming, so I just thought I'd just make a video because I'm reading this book and loving it. We're reading Bird by Bird by Anne Lamott, and it's awesome. And we're in the second chapter on short assignments. And I just didn't want to go on Facebook Live because I really think that what y'all are going to see is, if you catch it live, which is the whole point, is a bunch of cut up. I sat right here earlier and tried to scope, and I used somebody else's phone to view what you guys have been seeing, and it's not good. So anyway, I don't really want to be defeated, so I'm just doing it this way. So so this chapter was really, really good. I loved it. And I know that it's true because during the month of November, this is how I wrote my memoir. I took it, prompt by prompt, just little sections at a time. And so what I have is all in a binder. It's not really in order, but I was just amazed at how much I could write, just little sections at a time like that. And I was really fortunate that I had all the training that I had with Julie Jordan Scott on that beforehand. She's a periscoper that is just awesome, and I've learned so much from her. But and then I loved it where she got real serious, and the author did, and she talked about how writing is about our needs, and it's about the fact that we want to be visible, we want to be heard, we want to make sense out of life, wake up, grow up, all that kind of stuff, and belong. And then she says, lighten up. That's the main thing. And yeah, that's something that I need to work on. Especially this week. I really ought to be able to laugh about these technical issues, but it's really gotten my goat because, it's not cool, to all of a sudden not be able to do what you want to do. But I just love her writing style. I like the short chapters. I love her humor style. It's like she's in my head. It's like we think alike, and it's good. I'm really glad that we picked this book. So, and it challenges me too. The book is really challenging me to realize where I'm in a rut with the way I think and the way I take things too seriously and everything. I got another book that I got a lot out of was Natalie Goldberg's Old Friend from Far Away. And so it's kind of reminded me of that. And yet this is just really deeper in terms of she's really preparing us and telling us what to expect. Those monkeys in our minds and all of the insanity that goes on when we sit down to try to write. It's so familiar. It's so true that I just relate so much, and I know that she's an expert, and she sees us all coming from miles away, us wannabe writers and us writers, she knows what we're dealing with. And of course, in this chapter was that story about her little brother that was trying to write a report on birds, and he'd waited 3 months and then was starting or whatever, and how her father approached him at the table, and he had all the books about the birds, and he just told him, it's okay, son, just go bird by bird. Well, and then she ended up titling her book that, so for us, for everybody. I just love it, and then of course I caught your scope, Lance, earlier in the replay. I'd gone out of town to try to see the wizard of Verizon there, and there's nothing wrong with my phone, they're saying, and I kind of believe it. I think it's probably the router system. I don't know, but it's like, there's so many variables. Anyway, don't get me started on that. So it's cool. I love the idea of the little 1-inch frame. And for me, whenever I get really stuck and I know that I'm just looking at too wide of an angle, I'm trying to deal with a whole chunk at a time, I think of photography, and I think of how my camera has that macro focus where I can get the petals of a flower just as crystal clear, or I can get the whole wide angle. I really relate to photography. And then I had this other random thought too. I remembered how years ago when we left the Air Force and we moved back down here, this was my husband's house before he married me. His parents were here, and they had this really large building in our backyard it wasn't up to code. There was no permit for it. It was a disaster, but it was large, and it was up on pillars, and it was huge, you know. And they went on and moved to where they were going to be, and we were left with this great big monster of a building. And I realized it's going to be there forever. It's going to bother me forever. So I just decided I was going to tear it down board by board. I didn't give a crap if anybody helped me or what. I had a crowbar, and I knew how to use it. And you know, at first it seemed like this is nuts. You know, it was way out of my league. But I got that building down board by board, and it taught me something. You know, it taught me that I could just sit inside and gripe about it, or I could just get out there and pull one nail that day, or get one piece of plywood off and start stacking it up, you know, get it in the truck, take it to the dump. So that's, you know, that's where I can really see that this book is teaching us not just about writing, but about life, because we do need to learn that the things that we want to do, you know, are not all going to be done, just snap our fingers. And I guess that's how I need to look at this situation with my whatever it is. You know, when you're live streaming, you've got so many variables. You've got the app that you're on, you've got your phone or camera or piece of equipment, then you've got your internet coming into your house and your router. You've got so many variables. It's like, you know, you just gotta, like, you know, hit each one and keep going, you know, keep doing stuff. I had my memory full. I had, you know, it was like a perfect storm of stuff. And then Periscope had a huge update on December 28th, which messed up a lot of people. So all I can do is just keep chiseling away at it. And one of these times when I go to test, then it's going to work, you know. And I got my niece is going to help me out as far as I'm going to hop on her network. She has the same provider I do, but she's got an extreme router, and if I like that and if it works, then I'm going to have them come over here and put one of those in for us. But because unbelievably, I really like scoping, and I really like to do this. I just, for some reason, I won't yet get on Facebook Live. I don't know why, but anyway, I thought I'd just do this video and then see if this works, because I've always done YouTube, so I'm just going to upload it to YouTube and stick it on the website, and if people want to watch it, they can. If not, that's okay. But this will keep me honest. This will keep me reading, thinking about what I'm going to say when I scope, and making videos. So I'm glad you joined me. And anybody who happens to hop on here, not knowing who we are bookstream.tv. We're a Facebook group, and we read great books and scope about them. At least most of us scope, but right now I'm out of luck in that department because people can't watch me live, so it's a bummer, and I'm not going to put everybody through it. So I just decided to try and make my video and upload it to YouTube. So have a great day, and thanks for watching. If you got this far, you're awesome. Bye now. I'll see you next video or scope or whatever works out for me. Thanks. Bye now.